Hello, welcome back to another video, and we're building a new car today. So, ta-da! We have a fresh Yokomo SO 2.0. So yeah, I picked this up off a member of my Yokomo group, a guy called Martin. Absolute pleasure to deal with. So yeah, this arrived as a kind of part-built car, and we're just going back through it, adding a few upgrades, and then getting it ready for the track, which is next Sunday at 1066 Racing, my local track. Very lucky to have that in the area. Absolutely superb club, big track, big jumps, and a good bunch of people. So yeah, let's get cracking with the build. Right, so here's the car. I have to excuse the workbench. This is in my garage where I do my bikes and other stuff, so hence it's a bit grubby because we have engines on here and all sorts of crap. Anyway, so here's the car. Like I say, it's been built by Martin. He's done a great job. You know, it all looks well built, so I'm just basically going through it just to double check for peace of mind myself, make sure everything's thread locked, and also putting Chris Foster's base carpet setup on it, which is in the Yokomo group that I run on Facebook, so you can check that out if you wish. Also adding a few upgrade parts as well. So starting at the front end, I've put on the alloy bell cranks there, and I'm going to get the bull race steering rack for it at some point. I've also ordered the thicker front hinge pin brace and then the steel bulkhead underneath, so that's on the way from the guys at MB Models. Right, and yeah, like I say, just going through the sort of setup. So I'm going through the car, which has been basically built to stock, and putting Chris Foster's setup. He's been going really well with the car at MB Models, and I think he's leading the championship there, which is great. So yeah, and they're also going to be adding a few bits and pieces. So there we are. So it's going to have a Willspeed D block in it, the Take 1 D block, so you can run 0 degree tow, which is really helpful on carpet. And then in this bag of goodies, we've got a under lipo weight, one of the big old style ones, but it works really well. And then we've got a full complement of carbon Willspeed stuff as well, so we'll get that on the car, as well as Willspeed springs and all the rest of it. So I'll sort of talk you through the setup as we go through, but that's pretty much where we're at. So next job is to basically get the front end finished, move a couple of shims around, and get that done, and get the servo in. Then we'll kind of work our way back with doing the diff and then do the shocks at the end. I've got to trim and paint the body shell and the wings. That hasn't been done yet. And then got to glue up some fresh tyres as well. So got plenty to crack on with this week, ready for Sunday at 1066 Racing. Right, so next up we're going to fit the lovely Willspeed front tower. So this is basically the same geometry as the stock one, as you can see, but it's got the half hole adjustments there on it as well, so you can tune your shocks a bit better than just the 3 that the stock one's got. So let's get that bolted on. Right, there we have it, all bolted on. And what's really nice about this tower is it's got a chamfer on both sides, so it's been machined both sides of the tower. You can sort of see around that side as well, so it's really nice and smooth, so I won't dig in on the carpet, etc. So next up, just got to trim a front wing out, get that bolted on, and that's pretty much the front end done. And then, like I say, we'll work our way backwards. Right, there we are. So that's the front wing trimmed and done, and then we've added some more bling with the Willspeed carbon front wing button, which looks pretty cool. So that's the front end done, bar the shocks, and then we'll what we're going to do next, probably the diff and back end, I reckon, and then we'll start putting the electrics in. So there's the diff out and the back end of the car disassembled. I've been through the back end. I've changed various bits to Chris's setup, so I've done a load of work on that off camera. And we're just going to do some mods to the back end. Talking to mods, we've got the Willspeed rear tower. So as you can see, this basically has got a load more holes, and instead of having the ball stud mounted here, it's mounted on the tower, which gives you loads of options, and most of the team run. Chris runs in this upper top link here with the Azami tyres, so we'll get that bolted on. We're going to put 15k in the diff with 4 internal gears, so we're going to do that. Then what else are we going to do? Oh yes, we've got our Willspeed carbon wing button, which looks awesome. And then we're going to put the Willspeed block, and then on top of this we'll put the TWR racing lower roll bar link. So I'll show you how to do that in a bit. I've done a video on it previously if you want to go back and have a look through the channel, but this really neatens up the back end of the car. And also instead of having the roll bar above the drive shaft, it's below, so when you take the diff out it's even quicker. So yeah, we're going to crack on with that. So do the diff first, which I won't show you because it's a bit boring, filling the diff up with oil, and then we'll put all the bling bling bits on. Right, there we are. So that's the old tower put to one side, and we have the nice Willspeed one on there and the Willspeed wing button. One thing I forgot to mention was the with the Willspeed rear tower, you got an extra hole so you can get the wing lower down, which is great for carpet use. And yeah, obviously double chamfer as per the front shock tower, so it looks awesome and all matches in nicely with the sort of satin finish that all the carbon parts have got that Willspeed produce. Anyway, diff's done, so we are going to plonk that on here, and then that's that done, and then pretty much the back end's finished now. So we're just going to button that up, get all the screws in there, and then turn our attention to either the shocks over here or get the electrics in. Haven't decided yet, but there we go. So yeah, making progress. Well, silly me, the back end isn't finished yet. We've got to do all this stuff. So we've got to put the Willspeed Take One D block on it, and we've got to do this roll bar mod where basically you mount the roll bar on the top of this, like so, and then you get the roll bar underneath the drive shaft. So it makes sense in a minute. So just need to remove this here, and then get rid of all of that, and then need to bend the end of the roll bar, which I'll show you in a bit, and then get that all mounted up and get these mounted into here. All right, that's got the turnbuckles bolted up to the tower, and I've just used a M3 flange nut on the back there. You could obviously run some shorter ball studs if you want, but anyway, that's what we've got in the kit, so that's quite neat. And obviously with the Willspeed tail gives you loads of adjustability. You've got 3 rows of holes there to play with your roll centres to your heart's content. So next up, we're going to remove the anti-roll bar links, get the D block fitted up like so, and then just check the setup sheet from Chris Foster and get the correct hinge pin inserts there for the anti-squat and rear toe, and then we'll be good. So we're going to get on with that bit next. Right, so we've got the Willspeed D block mounted on there, and then just for test purposes just mounted the top part on the carbon part which comes with the roll bar kit from TWR via SEMCS. Only about £7, so really good little upgrade. So what I've basically done is bent the roll bar, so I've basically splayed it out slightly on this direction, just bend that out a little bit, and then you have to basically put a 90-degree bend on this end, so it'll become clear when I get it all bolted up, but basically it has to sit in there and whoops, the shadow's not very good, and basically sit underneath the drive shaft like so, and then line up with the link like that. So anyway, we'll get it bolted up now. It's bent to shape, but basically I was just laying it over where it would sit and getting it in the right position. But it's very easy to do, you know, 1 minute's job. And then it comes with these little 3D printed links as well. So we're just going to take the balls out of this end of the roll bar link, and then this bit, bolt it all up. Job's a good one. All right, there we go. So that's the TWR lower roll bar mount sorted, so that looks pretty cool. And as you can see, the anti-roll bar goes below the drive shafts now, so doing a diff change is really easy. You just basically take the 6 screws out, diff comes out, then I've touched the roll bar, which is good. Just be a bit careful. These their links are 3D printed, so don't go mad on these can snap. Ask me now how I know how, but anyway, you get 2 sets with the roll bar kit from Slough. Anyway, so that's fine. What else to say? Yeah, so that's that. One thing to note is, whoops, I just dropped the car there. Because these bolts here come in through the top, and then you've got the same bolt hole coming in from the bottom under here, you have to run an M3x6 instead of an M3x8, because obviously the bolts will touch each other and you won't be able to do them up. But these are just the standard bolts that come with the Yokomo kit that hold on the rear anti-roll bar. So just use those, but just swap out these bottom ones for some M3x6s if you're going to have this rear end setup. But there we go. So that's that bit all sorted out now. So a little bit fiddly getting all the bends correct on the roll bar, but definitely worth the effort, and it's pretty cheap upgrade, like £6. I just checked on SEMCS's website, so go and grab that. And obviously we removed all of this bit as well, so it can go in the pile of stuff. Right, so that's pretty much. Oh yeah, I've just got to put the these inserts into the wishbones for the rear shock mounting, and that's pretty much the car done, bar the shocks, and it's got all of the correct settings on it for EOS carpet. So I'm going to move on to the shocks next, get those sorted, bolted on the car, and then we'll do the electrics. That's my plan of action. Oh, I need to cut out a rear wing as well. So yeah, let's get going. Right, just doing the shocks. I've done one. Just waiting for the air bubbles to come out of those. I've got one of those posh penis pumps that vacuums out the air bubbles. So just waiting, doing it the old-fashioned way. But I've done a double bleed on this. So for those that don't know what a double bleed is, basically you fill the shock body and the shock cap up with oil. Then basically take the bleeder screw out, do the cap tight. Then you basically push it up till all the oil comes out. And then basically then put the bleed screw in when it's compressed, then let it go, then pump it about 10 times so you feel the pressure build up. Then again, bleed it up again. Obviously this is without the spring on, so bleed it up again, push it all the way in, then wipe all the excess oil up, put your bleed screw in, and then give it a clean off with some brake cleaner, and then job's a good one. And yeah, I've got a 1mm limiter, as you can see on there, and 1mm inside the shock. Well, that feels really, really nice. Super, super smooth. So yeah, we've gone with the Willspeed red springs all round. Going to go with the same on the rear as well. So we'll just do the rest of those and get them bolted on the car. Right, so that's the shocks all done. Got 2-hole pistons all round in them, and got 1.8 and 1.9 in it. And then we got 600 CST in the front and 400 in the rear, and the Willspeed red springs. So we're just going to get them bolted on the car and add a wing, and then that's pretty much the rolling chassis done. Right, there we go. So got the yoke wing on for now. I'll grab a Willspeed one when I'm over there next. Yeah, put the under lipo weight. This is one of the old school ones from MB Models, but I think you still get these days, but it's what the team guys run, which is cool. So we've put that underneath, bit of foam down the sides, and then just put the lipo holder in like that. So I've got a bag full of electrics here, so we're just going to they're in my old car, my SO 1.0, so we'll get those put in, and yeah, then what we've got to do then, basically set up the geometry. So we've got to do the ride height, camber toe, all that good stuff, but I'll show you that in a moment. But yeah, let's crack on and get those electrics in. Well, silly me, forgot to trim out the side guards, so I've cut this piece out of here. Normally that sits in there like so, but I've cut it out because basically it's a real squeeze getting all the radio gear in there. So I've got to do the same this side and basically trim this out as well. So we'll crack on with that now. There, the grinder made quick work of just filing it out. So that's that side done. Now we'll get on with this side. Right, so there's the aerial mount gone. So yeah, right, obviously I'm quite lucky I've got a bench grinder here, so I basically ground that down like so, and then just finished it off with the scalpel and sort of rounded the edges. Bit of GT85 will sort of hide that, but obviously once it's bolted in the car you won't really notice it anyway. So yeah, that's that little job done. Forgot about that one, but there we are. Let's put it back together and get the electrics in. There we go. The power of YouTube. The electrics are all in. So I'll just put the plugs in just for neatening it up a bit, but obviously don't leave those in because it'll well, probably not do your battery any good. So that's the car pretty much all done. So there we go. It looks really nice with all the Willspeed goodies all over it. So yeah, like I've already mentioned, next step is I've got a brand new body shell, which I'll send away and get painted in my colours, which looks something like that. Ignore that one. But yeah, that's my normal colours, so I'll get that painted up. And in the meantime, I'll just run one of my older Yokomo body shells on it. Just well, hang on, there it is. So we'll just chuck that on it for now, which will work, even though this is the sort of newer car. All the body shells fit, so I'm doing this one-handed. There we go. It'll look something like that. So we've just got to put the Velcro on the side and a couple other bits and pieces, but looks smart enough, doesn't it, to go racing. And you can tell it's one of my very, very first shells, because this is when we had the original gearbox in the YZ 2 when it originally came out all those years ago. So we had the slipper on this side instead of the 3 gear that we have these days. But yeah, looking really smart, dead chuffed with that. Can't wait to give it a run. So yeah, we'll get the last few little jobs done, and then I'll give you a bit of a rundown when we're down at Hastings on Sunday at 1066 Racing. So yeah, I think that's about it. I'll just run through the geometry with you in a minute, and then we'll wrap up the video. So now the final job is just to basically set the ride height. So these came with the car, so some cut staggers, which will be all right for outdoors, as we don't really run those indoors anymore, and some cactus, which I will run. You know, they're glued up and new, so I might as well use them. And they go pretty good with the new splinter front tyres. And of course, we have some the lovely carbon Willspeed camber gauge and turnbuckle wrench. This was a gift at the 1066 Willspeed Grand Prix, which was cool. So anyway, just going to bolt those all up and then get the geometry done. So first up, we'll do the rider. As you can see, she's well high in the air. So I've got this set at 13mm. This is just a little Centro ride height gauge, really good. So obviously we've got a lot to lower it down to 13mm. So we'll get winding the preload collars up and then get that down. Back's not looking too bad. You know, we're not really very far away, as you can see. So there we go. We'll just get that done, and then we'll move on to doing the camber and toe. All right, so onto the camber, and I've just checked this one, and bit of luck, we're not far away at all. So we've got on the Willspeed gauge, you basically put so we're going 2 degrees rear camber, so you put the 2 in the corner, slide this on our flat setup board, and we've got a tiny little gap at the top there, so we'll just lengthen that. Then we're done. Then we'll move on to the front. So what I normally do, I won't show you on camera, but it's basically switch the car on, make sure that the steering rack and the servo are centered. But to be honest, it looks pretty good as it came. So anyway, we'll just get that done, and then the car is finished, and I'll give you a quick walk around it, and that'll be that. There she is, all finished up. So yeah, just to give you a quick walk around. Like I say, going to get the splinters and the whatever they're called, as armies on the back. Just going to go and pick those up today and get those glued up. One thing I have added is this Fusion brace, which Fusion make for the car. Again, you can buy these from SEMCS and in the UK. Basically, because this has all got the stock plastics on it, not graphite arms, bulkheads, side rails, etc. Chris Foster reckoned that it was worth adding this brace just to stiffen up the front end. You know, I might put some graphite plastics on it as we go through, but that's just a little addition I've added at the end of the build. But there's only 2 bolts and comes on and off very easily. So yeah, just walking our way back. There's all the electrics all done quite neatly. And yeah, there we go. So no, it's come out really well, really pleased with it. The shocks feel amazing. Obviously the cars don't have huge changes, but the changes that Yokomo do make between the cars makes a huge difference to the way they drive and handle. And quite a few guys I've spoke to that have ran the 2.0 said it's one of the best 2 wheels that they've driven, and quite a lot of the people I know have had most of the modern cars out there. So yeah, and obviously got the 3.0 coming pretty soon, which again will have some more changes, but you can still tell the design ethos is still there from the 2-wheel drive range from Yokomo, but the 3.0 will have some nice additions to it, and I'm sure it'll be a faster car. So I'm sure we'll see some of those soon. But there we go. So there's the car finished up. Just show you around the back end, and that's that. So yeah, I'll do some videoing, all being well, on Sunday of the car running, and maybe do some hot laps for one of the quick guys driving it and see what they think of the car on Sunday, and I'll just do another quick video before Christmas. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Happy racing, and I'll see you all next time.